We are at the Oklahomans Video Studio in downtown Oklahoma City with Sheli Adler and Kris Dane. They are from What's Cooking, and they're going to tell us some of their fall specialties. Welcome you all.
Thank you, Helen.
It's fall.
Finally, although it doesn't feel like it.
not today, but it will be soon. So
what
what is cooking?
Well, trying to get geared up for holiday season and start thinking of different flavors. And so we have done some butternut squash
Butternut squash soup right here,
which is a favorite. Kris made some sweet potato biscuits with ham and Jezebel sauce. Yeah, with that.
What's in Jezebel sauce?
It is an apple jelly, pineapple jelly, lots of horseradish and pepper.
Oh my gosh! Well, that just sounds
a little zingy
and sweet potato biscuits. Very fine.
They were delicious. We had to try one out. For
lots
breakfast.
of pumpkin.
Lots of pumpkins. We have our pumpkin bread that we sell a million loaves of year round, actually, but it's especially in season now, and my mother feels like that's all she gets done at the kitchen is making pumpkin bread. But she also makes these lovely molasses cookies, which are a favorite for fall. They're one of my favorites all the time, and they're just a good spicy cookie that we keep trying to keep them soft and chewy.
And there's not very many people that make molasses cookies anymore. They're very hard to find.
And you said you just recently came across this apple cake, so tell us about it.
Well, actually, I'm going to let Kris tell you about that because it's a favorite in her house.
I was going through some of my mother's old recipes and found this one and thought that sounds really, really good, so baked it. Like Sheli lets me do all kinds of experiments on everybody in the kitchen.
Cooking.
And
well, we all had to try it out, of course, and we devoured the whole pan of it immediately and said, like, yeah, that's a thumbs up.
so that's about the third time I've made it, in a week and a half.
Really?
But it's really, really good.
What's the sauce?
It's a rum sauce.
Rum sauce over the top. Oh my gosh, well that looks great. Well, do all of your recipes come, I bet they come from your mom and your mom? And
I started out with a group of recipes that we had used in our family for many years, and then slowly as we added employees, everybody brings their favorite things or where they've lived or what nationality they are, or we also read cookbooks all the time, go eat at restaurants and see if we can recreate things that are favorites, which is fun. And so just a variety of places.
So food is on your mind.
All the time. All the time.
Well,
yeah,
if this is an example, you all have done a good job because this looks fabulous. The salad even. Tell us about the salad.
That's a favorite at the kitchen. It's called field green salad. And so it's a mixture of romaine and baby lettuces. And then it's got spiced pecans that we make in-house, and feta cheese, and a dressing that we make, and some craisins and apples, and so it's especially good for fall. We also do it with strawberries sometimes in the spring, but it's a favorite.
Sheli, that looks like fall right there.
It does look like fall. Looks like it should be on a harvest table.
Well, this is kind of is a harvest table.
It is a harvest.
Then we have, don't you make pumpkin soup too? It seems like
we have made some pumpkin soup as well. Yes, I like it. This one seems to be the favored one, the butternut squash. But it's really good with apple cider and apples and butternut squash.
And while we're talking about this bread, you have not only pumpkin bread, but you have banana nut bread. What else?
Lemon blueberry, cranberry orange, raspberry. What else
all in little darling
loaves.
Kinds
of cute little loaves of breads. Yes, so they're all
packaged and ready to go to slice.
Ready to go.
Or in the freezer. You can put them in the freezer.
We have sent that all over the world. Every time anybody's traveling, like, oh, we have to say our food's traveled here, so we send it with them. And so I have a picture of my grandsons having that at Turks and Caicos last summer, and one of our employees is from England, and she took some to London this summer, and we have a picture of that.
So the loaves went to London and Turks and Caicos.
It's the well-traveled bread.
Barbie just went to New Orleans, so
yeah, she took some.
The bread was there.
You said that also that one of your employees, Barbie, is from New Orleans, so you have some of her recipes from New Orleans.
We do. She is a wonderful cook
and
has lived there for a long time, and so she has lots of knowledge of interesting things from there. And so we do some pretty good gumbo and etouffee, and we have another employee who is also an accomplished Cajun cook. So,
So you have all kinds of things going.
We do. We have some Guatemalan and some Mexican and some Korean, and everybody who comes in, I kind of start picking their brain. Hey, what do you make that's good? What should we do here?
You said that you make gallons of things. So one of them is your famous banana pudding.
Yes, indeed.
And you make gallons of that.
Literally, yes,
A week?
literally. Sometimes many times a week. It kind of depends. People
Edna
come in.
has done it probably. She went through 2 or 3 gallons buckets last week.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
People come in and carry those out by 5, of the little containers. And also they've started ordering 9 by 13 big pans of that. And so my mother will look all pale like, what? Well, that takes a lot of that stuff. I have to mix it up.
And so what else is your big sellers?
We sell the number one, hands down favorite thing is tomato vodka pasta with grilled chicken. Coming up close behind that is smoked Gouda tortellini, which is
Like
also
in a casserole?
really yummy. Yes, in the front, it's another favorite thing. The cucumber avocado soup that Kris makes, also we make a lot of that.
But that'll come to an end.
Pretty quickly.
With the avocado.
Well, it's a cold soup, so when it starts getting cooler outside, then we kind of switch gears, and that gets put back to springtime.
Again, and we do also a shrimp cocktail soup that's just delicious. It's also a cold soup, so it's kind of the last hurrah for those 2 things. But
Well, and you all do you have started in your new kitchen doing wraps for lunch, salads for lunch, so people can just come by and have lunch.
They do, and
you've got some tables there. You could just
quite a lot of business people have found us since our move to our new location. We're a lot more visible, so we're trying to accommodate a little bit. And you can come in to the deli case too and get all kinds of salads and side vegetable dishes.
That
and
chicken salad's the best.
It is delicious, isn't it?
Really good.
I still really like that one.
Well, I think you all probably know more about parties than anybody in the town. So has the party season started?
Starting to hear lots of requests for what are we going to do, what's new, and what's going to be, the Thanksgiving menu. So.
Well, you said you had lunch for 83 tomorrow. So
we do, yeah.
That's a good party.
The
And then how
school.
about football parties? Are people watching the game and having parties? Or?
Everybody in Oklahoma is excited about football, no matter what color you support there. But we did just feed the OU football coaches and stuff last week.
You did?
At the stadium, yeah.
So you took everything to the stadium?
Take everything to the stadium. I think it's family night for them, so their children get to come, and we've done that quite a few years now, and they have their favorites they request.
What do you fix for them? You fix red and white?
It just happens to be their favorite thing is tomato vodka pasta and strawberry Bavarian cake. So that's the color scheme, which is nice. The children are like the macaroni and cheese, but then we think all the other guys sneak that too, so we have to send enough for everybody.
So we also have in our fall selection here a drink.
We
So
do.
tell us about that.
Well, we have a pumpkin martini that I will let Kris tell you about.
Give it
It's
a
pretty yummy.
So we got it right here, pumpkin martini.
Pumpkin martini.
So what's in a pumpkin martini?
It is a pumpkin spice cream drink, I'll say, with a little bit of rum in it. And we've rimmed the glass with cinnamon and sugar.
Yum.
So we're going to put that in.
Now I have not ever tasted that before. Pumpkin
Well-
spice martini. You are
Are you
innovative.
allowed at work?
Probably not.
And then we're
Probably
just
not.
going to finish it just with a little bit of,
Kind of a
if
little-
somebody wants a little whipped cream on top,
It's kind of a little dessert drink. It's really like
which I should have gotten a little bit bigger tip, but
No, that's cute.
it's fun.
And look at the rim. That is just darling. Last year at Christmas time, you all had a peppermint martini. I
We
seem to
did.
recall. And you had the peppermint rim.
on the rim. Yeah, those were pretty delicious, as I recall.
Well, those look just
we
fine.
liked it, but that
Thanks.
Kris, tell us about the water.
This is something that we decided to sell in the store since it gets so hot in the summer and people come in and, we have nothing to drink. So Sheli and Barbie came up with this very cool bottle that you can
darling.
get our personal bottled water.
That's
so
awesome.
people think that we've gone in the water business now too.
So you have everything from dips to full course dinners. You provide everything. The staff, you provide the
We
food?
do. Anything from, you can come pick up what we have. You can bring us your pans and we fill them for a dinner party. We can provide staff and bartenders and all that if you want a full service party. Have lots of silver trays and other kinds of assorted trays that we fill for people. And
You have to keep polishing those.
yes, we do. Yes, we do. We go through a lot.
Well, how long have you been doing this, Shelley?
20 years. I can't believe it's been that long, but 20 years this year, actually. We started in 95, right before the bomb happened, actually. It's kind of my marker, because when we first started, we ended up taking food down to the rescue people. And
So where was your first kitchen?
It's now called Chesapeake Community Plaza, but at that time we had a little tiny space, 1,500 square feet, that I didn't think I would be there 20 years later. And so sure enough, within 6 years, I guess, we doubled our space in that same complex. And we were there for about 13 years, something like that. And we built a new kitchen last year, and we've been there 1 year exactly now. And we love it. It's wonderful.
Tell us about the new kitchen. You have 16 employees.
I do. It's grown like crazy. And so we built a big, new, beautiful kitchen that's on Wilshire, just between Broadway Extension and Western, on the north side of the street. We have a big red awning that says "What's Cooking," and people actually can find us now. We were hidden for 19 years. We were a hidden secret, but I think if you have good food, people will seek you out. So.
And your cases, you have a gallery, actually, of cases full of soups.
We have a little of everything. We have a big freezer and refrigerator of pans of things and quarts and pints of soup that you can pick up from there. And then we have 2 deli cases as well that are full of grilled salmon, chicken piccata, lots of vegetable and salad side dishes, and fruit salad, and gosh, olive bread and salsa and pimento cheese, and just everything.
And those lovely chocolate cakes.
And those lovely chocolate cakes, which is another.
Who makes those?
That is, again, my mother, who I overwork horribly. She told me that she was getting a note from her doctor that she couldn't work so much. So that's abusing my mother, but she makes a lot of chocolate
Did
cake.
you and your mom start out cooking?
Many years ago. I grew up on a farm, and we both started feeding harvest hands and all the people who worked on the farm, and from that branched out a little bit to a little catering, and so we did that for a while. And then she went on to something else for a while, but then she's back at my kitchen for 5 or 6 years now, at least.
She was there a little bit before I came.
Yeah, so she likes it. It keeps her occupied. And
So how about organic foods, gluten-free, low sodium?
we do some gluten-free and low sodium. Organic is a little trickier in Oklahoma, just to procure amounts that will support my kitchen, but we keep working on it, and we keep moving forward in that respect in Oklahoma, so we will. But we're working hard on trying to keep gluten-free and low sodium things around. Low sodium is a huge demand, and so we keep trying to perfect it, because that's a tricky one.
You also bring in peaches, you bring in tomatoes, pecans, what else?
Oh gosh.
Spinach.
Yeah. What else?
Our
do we
fresh
bring in?
spinach. I can't remember, did we get artichokes in one time?
I did. It's really anything
And your
I can
peaches,
find.
you go get them.
I do go get them. I'm really partial to Colorado peaches.
And you said you had 110
cases this year, yes, and people keep coming in demanding them, and I wish I had another 50 cases, but.
Did you create peach pie or peach
We
cobbler?
did. Kris can tell you a fun
We
thing
did.
we tried.
We did a peach clafouti, which is a tart, and a peach mousse, but that didn't turn out so well.
They're so delicious, actually, just the way they are, that we kind of think
They're
you should
excellent.
eat peaches till you can't stand that anymore. And people have gotten to know that I do this, and so they'll start calling me in May, when are the peaches? Are the peaches there yet? Are the peaches there yet? So we sold most of them just as fresh peaches, but I try to keep some that we use throughout the year, freeze them.
And pecans?
Pecans are coming around the bend here, and my good friend Greg Lohman has Lohman's Produce, and he hauls pecans, and he's kind enough to let me tag along on a trailer load of fresh pecans from southern Oklahoma and Texas, right on the Texas-Oklahoma border, and they're lovely. So
they
you should be getting
they're delicious.
They are really fresh. And
how
good.
about And tomatoes? Do you still have a garden? Shelley?
We tried to help a bit with a garden with the church behind us. Is trying to do a community garden. This year was a bit tricky with tons of rain at the beginning of the season. So we're gonna try that again next year. There's a guy in Edmond who grows organic tomatoes, as many as I can get. And so we start having those early spring, and as much as I can get of those, we sold them quicker than we could put them out.
We
front.
did.
They were just
Oh,
beautiful.
they were delicious.
Oh my gosh.
Unfortunately, Oklahoma gets hot too quickly, and tomatoes aren't happy with that. So,
Yeah. So how about the holidays, you all? Are they booking parties for Christmas or Thanksgiving?
Oh, yes.
oh yes, we're starting to fill in those pages. Yes, and it's a wonderful thing to anticipate. It's a lot of work, so we kind of like take a big sigh about October and go,
But
okay.
you have a great Thanksgiving food list.
We do. Many carry out Thanksgiving dinners, and so people are starting to check in about what's going to be on the list this year, and so we will start that pretty quickly. Before that, we do many corporate Thanksgiving lunches as well before the day of Thanksgiving, so we're getting ready to have a freezer full of turkeys.
And what about, you all make really good dressing. Whose recipe is that?
Well, it's kind of a combination.
Not mine.
I started doing it like my grandmother did it, and that's just kind of a standard cornbread and bread and celery and onions. And Barbie is particularly good at it, and so she's been elected to do that every year, which keeps growing, and she keeps saying that this is the last year I'm doing this. But hers was the best, so we let her make those 97 pans of dressing.
Well, she can pass it down.
she
doesn't want to do
We might
it
offer
anymore.
her some help, but yes,
Yeah.
it keeps we look at the list every year like, okay, you need 200 pans of dressing, Barbie. She looks pale. Okay.
Oh my gosh, you all just cook all the time.
We do cook all the time. It's fun, though. I have a wonderful staff, and they certainly help me get through all this. And
It is. It's a pleasure to come to work every day.
we try to make it a fun place, and generally it is, and we're happy that I'm very blessed to
You all
be.
work together very nicely.
We
I think.
do.
We do.
We have a good
Everybody-
staff,
Everybody
and
loves each other. You
We're
can
all
tell.
a steady crew, and it's a nice thing.
So what's your address, and do you have a website, phone number, if people want this lovely, any of this?
all this food.
Jezebel sauce, particularly?
Yeah, that one is yummy.
That'll
Apple
knock
cake.
your socks off. It's very good.
We have a
Nice.
new address. It's 337 West Wilshire, Suite C. So you look for the big red awning. Our number is 843-6530. And we do have a website as well, and it's what'scookingok.com. And that will give you lots of information about what we offer. You can't order online because we need to talk to you, but call us at 843-6530.
And we are open from
Yes.
9 until 6 every day and 10 to 1 on Saturday.
Okay.
Yep.
On your website, you have all the casseroles listed and everything listed.
We do. We have quite a lot listed. We always need to work on it, but the joke is we can feed 1,000 people, but we can't put things on paper. So if there's any questions, certainly call us. A lot of the desserts are not our breakfast items, so we will work on that. But you can get a lot of information about all the casseroles and catering and things like that on the website.
Okay, anything else about the shop or the martinis or?
I think we
Let's
should
drink.
try it out. Yeah, come see us at the kitchen. We're friendly and fun, and
We have
do lots of good
faces pressed
stuff,
up
and
against the window. Want a sample?
they're ready to come try that martini. And the apple cake is a particular favorite. So,
Well, Shelley and
Kim
Kris,
in.
Oklahoma City is very lucky to have you, such excellent cooks, cooking for them. Viewers, drop by, pick up your lunch, your dinner, get some of the banana pudding, chocolate cake. You will be happy that you did. Thank you all for coming in.
Thanks, Helen.
Thanks, Ellen. That's fun.